What's up? Peace and light, peace and love. I'm Shakesha Divine, the Pretty Priestess. I'm bringing a divine oracle message for the year 2023. We're just going to give a quick overview for the collective. We're going to look in three areas. We're going to look at our relationships. We're going to look at the work we came here to do. And then we're going to look at our finances. I want to thank the spiritual supports for assisting me in delivering this message because I absolutely cannot do it without them. And I want to go ahead and see what message that Spirit has in the heart. I'm going to start off with the relationship cards and see what that looks like. So right now, I also pulled in the tarot system the Two of Wands card. And intuitively, that's coming to me as it feeling as if there's folks, some of us, out here in these streets that just really have gotten their ass kicked in relationships, in connections, and out here in this world. We had some experiences out here how folks can really, we got a true lesson on just how tainted folks get down. We got an opportunity to see just how two-faced it, how backstabbing, how shisty, how shady folks can be. And we got to acknowledge and respect that. That's a part of the duality in this life and in this world. The challenge that we have here out here is that we don't really want to deal with those feelings. We want to protect ourselves because that's what is our main defense mechanism. I couldn't get that. What our main defense mechanism is to protect ourselves, right? And so in the process of protecting ourselves, we end up putting this wall around ourselves where we end up repelling relationships as opposed to attracting relationships. Spirit is letting us know that the thing that's really challenging us the most is really being open to new love. Because when we have our hearts open, we put ourselves in a more vulnerable space. But because we done been through a change or two, we done seen how tainted folks get down, we know how snakes can roll, we start to feel like maybe that this is something that's not going to be in the cards for us. But Spirit is coming through to let you know that these feelings, they're real, they're worth exploring. It happened. But there's also still light at the end of the tunnel for you to be able to make new and successful connections. You got to allow yourself and be open to let people support and encourage you. We got to tap into that spirit of discernment that we have that's within us and really allow ourselves to be led and guided by our intuition, by just straight paying attention, and knowing the folks that are in your corner as opposed to the folks that's not. We don't have an all or nothing world. There's duality within everything. And there's going to be some folks that's feeling you and some folks not so much. But when you recognize that and you allow yourself to be open with discernment, because those things, they absolutely did happen and folks do get down that way. However, on the other end, there are some righteous folks in this world. There are some people that want to see you succeed. There are some people that want to see you win. There will be folks that will encourage you. There will be folks that will support you. There are those of us that want to see you win at the end of the day. And when you allow yourself to be open and not necessarily getting into this space where you feel like you got to protect yourself from these jive turkeys out here in this street, and allow folks to come in and assist and support you, you open the door for soulmate energy. And when that soulmate energy comes out, it don't necessarily mean that you go have your soulmate and you go live happily ever after and pull off on this white horse. But it absolutely could too. And it can also mean that you'll find that right business partner, those successful connections, some true and loyal friends that's really going to be in your corner, encouraging you and supporting you along your journey. But you got to adjust your energy so that you will be in alignment for this to happen for you. Let's move forward. Let's see what Spirit has to say about this work we got going on. Just quickly, because we feel like there ain't enough love, there ain't enough support out here in this world, and we need to know. It's in the cards. We got to be able to discern how folks are interacting with us. Spirit is encouraging us to find those supports that will assist us in guiding, seeking Spirit out for assistance in operating in the highest vibration where it concerns the work we came here to do. For those of us that's reading cards, for those of us that's out here doing healing work, we got to really step into our power, because this year in 2023, this is a year of 7. And when it's telling us that all of the oracles, all of the spiritual teachers, all of the intuitives, it's time to step up and stand out. The problem, the trouble that we have is then we out here, we doing this work and we delivering a lot of these messages, and we don't believe that we healers out here. But this is really and truly a healing work. You don't necessarily have to be working up in no hospital in order to be that healing energy that's out here in this world. Because when you have the spiritual gift of healing, you have that desire to share it with others. That's what this right here is all about. And what all these other cats out here that's doing this work out here in these spiritual streets is all about. That desire to heal the world, to assist us in our journey, so that we can come through with the bird's eye view that we have, where we are able to get Spirit to assist us in letting us know where the correction needs to be made. Spirit is recommending to start building. Because when you start to build those things that you envision, I'm hearing if you build it, they will come. When you begin on building those things that you imagine, and you stay faithful and you stay loyal to it at the end of the day, you must trust that the divine is working for your highest and greatest good. See, when we sit around with this Two of Wands energy and we think there ain't enough support out here in this world, we need to isolate ourselves. We got to stay away from all of these cats out here. But when you build what you came here to do, you go attract your tribe. Trust me when I'm telling you. And sometimes it don't show up so quickly. Trust me, I know that too. But when you doing this work because you came here to do this work, you laying that foundation to be able to really build situations, things, services that heal, that assist us in our journey. Once you recognize that and you trust, then you'll know that life is fully supporting you. You'll start to see yourself getting into alignment. You'll begin making the connections with the right individuals. You'll run across books that's going to really be helpful. You'll scroll through social media and happen to run into some information that's really going to assist you. The support is out there. You must trust. Tap in and tune in to Spirit. Let's see what our finances is looking like. 23. What message does Spirit have? Whoop, jumped all the way out. You got to be selfish enough to align with your well-being. See, sometimes we get into this mentality that when we start doing things that's in our very best interest, that we stepped into the realm of selfishness. And this selfishness that we perceive is not for the highest and greatest good. But Spirit wants you to understand and recognize, my love, that sometimes your best self-care is to be a little selfish. You got to look out for yourself first. I know you heard about on the airplane when they tell you you got to take the oxygen in for yourself first before you go giving it to anybody else. Because if you can't breathe, you ain't of no use to nobody else at the end of the day. So if you're not making deliberate steps that's really in the business of you being able to make those steps that's going to propel you forward, well, you're heading in a direction that's going to take you on the road of inauthenticity. And it'll bring you right into the challenge that we face. Why is this taking so long? What's the delays all about? We ain't seeing these desired results at the end of the day. And when Spirit is showing up, this is all about you tapping into your creativity and really starting to be confident in the work that you're doing. Because when you start tapping into the creativity and you start trusting and believing that this is going to help you along your journey, this is what you're doing for the highest and greatest good, you start worrying about how long that this is taking and really start focusing more on enjoying the process than what the outcome looks like. But we got to be clear in what it is that we want to do. See, when we're trying to get our money right, when we're trying to manifest, we need to wonder why is this taking us so long? What is this going on? What is this going on? And a lot of times when we get into this whole two of wands mentality, there ain't enough going on. These folks ain't loyal out here. Let me stay out the way. When in reality, that's really not what you want to do. Why is this taking you so long? Out of alignment. Because every subject is really two subjects, which you desire and the lack of it. And often when you believe that you're thinking about something you desire, you're actually thinking about the opposite of what you desire. What in the hell is you talking about, Keish? What I'm talking about is we sit back thinking about how it ain't gonna happen. The shit we don't want to happen. Hoping that this person don't show up. See, because you're putting your energy in a situation that you don't want to see happen. You got to shift your focus into desired results. And when you do that, you start to become a physical extension of that source energy because you've aligned yourself with the highest vibration. And we got to recognize the real and not. Your past was real. It definitely happened. Be in tune with Spirit in your work because we came here to do the damn thing. It's time for those healers to start waking up. It's time for us to build it so they'll come. Let's link it up. Let's find those folks that's in our tribe that's going to support us out here in these streets. Make sure you're taking care of yourself out here. 2023 is all about that spiritual teacher, the spiritual healers. A lot of folks is waking up out here in these streets, and it is time for us to get it. Happy New Fear, everybody. Happy No Fear. Happy No Fear. Happy No Fear. You got to be a physical extension of this source energy out here. We got to vibrate higher. We got to shift our focus. We got to allow spirit to lead us, because this is where we excel at. In our relationships, in the work that we do, and how we get our bag, how we get these finances in order. Make sure you taking that time out for yourself. Make sure you doing you. Make sure you looking out and taking care of yourself. Those things that you need to do to restore your health, to maintain your health, the proper rest. Sometimes the do not disturb button is your friend on your phone. It's okay. You can return their calls later. You got to do you. You got to love you. And that don't mean you ain't got no love for nobody else. When you love yourself, my friend, when you love your self-love, that starts to spread itself all over this world. Your whole experience begins to shift. How you are dealt with begins to shift, because how you deal with others has shifted. Happy No Fear. Peace and light. Peace and love.